What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you are staying warm on this Thursday evening. So, British Williams, she was arrested last week, I believe, because she failed to show up to prison. And what just dropped today via ABC News is that her ex boyfriend and the father of her child, Lorenzo Gordon, is also facing possible federal indictment charges for fraud. Oh my, who's gonna take care of the baby? Y'all, it is a scheme that Todd is set up, okay? I'm like, this is foolishness. It says 3 months after the former reality TV star was sentenced for fraud, her ex-boyfriend now was also accused. Dang. A former professional basketball player whose ex-girlfriend was sentenced to prison last year for fraud is now facing his own federal indictment, accusing him of falsifying applications for pandemic relief loans. The indictment of Lorenzo Gordon, who's 40 years old, comes 3 months after his former girlfriend, Brittish Williams, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for fraud-related felonies, which also included schemes connected to the COVID-19 pandemic. Williams pled guilty to 5 charges in May and was sentenced in October. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported that Williams was arrested last week for failing to report to federal prison in West Virginia. Gordon is charged with 3 counts of wire fraud and 1 count of theft of government property. Oh no. He is accused of lying on his COVID-19 business relief applications about how long he operated 2 businesses, how much money they made, and whether he was the sole owner of a janitorial company. Federal prosecutors say that Gordon collected nearly $273,000 unlawfully. Oh, yeah, he collected the money unlawfully. Okay, the newspaper reported, citing charging documents. Gordon is originally from St. Louis and played basketball at Illinois State. He played professionally in France, Germany, Turkey, and Israel. He does not have a listed phone number, and it was not immediately clear if he had an attorney. Was ABC News going to try to call him? They are so shady. Okay, ABC, listen, y'all know I'm a journalist. Hey, Portia. But no, I went to ABC because I wanted a reputable source, not them checking his phone number. Williams first appeared on the VH1 reality show Basketball Wives in 2014 when she and Gordon were dating. They later broke up but have a child together. This is, oh my goodness. A few things, right? One, when I was, of course, I was being facetious and being a little bit funny when I said that it was a scheme that Todd is set up, like Aunt Bertha from Candy and the Gang. But there was a kernel of truth in that because I feel like the way these PPP loans were set up, I feel like it was almost entrapment for people. Um, because a lot of them were forgiven, like a lot of Congress people and a lot of high level executives that didn't need the money, right? Like Joel Osteen and like, you know, people who were already multimillionaires, they had millions and millions of dollars of PPP loans forgiven by the federal government. Like even the White House posted, I believe it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a congresswoman in Georgia, when she was talking about how, Republicans didn't think that people should have student loan forgiveness. They posted her PPP loans and that they were forgiven, and it was in the high 6 figures. And I said all that to say that I feel like because this was not that $273,000 is something to sneeze at, because that's a lot of money. $250,000 is a lot of money. But at the same time, it wasn't like, the millions and millions of dollars, because they ran out of that PPP loan money so quickly that a lot of small businesses who would have otherwise qualified weren't able to secure the funds. Dang. And also, I'm thinking like, well, who's going to take care of their child? And this is sad because if I remember correctly, I did watch British when she went on to talk with Carlos King, and she said that, um, she was even more affected by this prison sentence because she didn't have her mother growing up. And I know a lot of people would say, well, you should have thought about that before you were, scamming folks out of their money. And all that is true. I'm just like, man, like, how did they determine whose loans were forgiven and whose weren't? You know what I mean? Like, did he try to fill out this paperwork himself? This is sad. And I'm thinking, when I say it's sad, I'm thinking about that small child that if he is convicted on these federal charges, um, for Fed time, I think you have to do like 80 to 85% or something like that of the sentence just off top as a mandatory minimum. So that means this baby is going to be without both parents for years. And those are really important formative years. If I'm remembering correctly, I know the child is at least under 10. I'm not sure if they're under 5 or not, but those are really important years for your parents to be a part of your life. And this is really sad. So he took out loans on two businesses. It says that he's accused of lying on the business relief applications about how long he operated the businesses, how much money they made, and whether he was the sole owner. I think he definitely got audited after British got convicted last year. I bet you they wouldn't have even looked at his paperwork if it weren't for um, his ties to British. Which, I mean, listen, if there's one thing that the federal government does not play about, it is their taxes. Like a lot of people can get away with a lot of things, but you cannot you cannot get away with not paying your fair share of taxes to Uncle Sam. Like the United States of America is one of two countries in the world, Craig, okay, that that will require US citizens, their citizens, if they leave the country, it's only us and I think it's Eritrea. I hope I'm saying that right, over in Africa, where Tiffany Haddish says her father's family's from. But that's it. There's only two places in the world. Everybody else, if you leave the country or denounce your citizenship, like Prince Akeem and Zamunda, okay. If you say, even if you keep the citizenship, you move to another country. Most countries, every other one, 193, okay, will just be like, it's cool, you moved, pay taxes to where you live now. Not here, not us, not Uncle Sam. They want their money. Al Capone was unaliving everybody, doing all the mob crimes. And guess what brought him down? Tax fraud. I have a feeling that that's what's going to happen to Donald Trump too. When he said that he could stand in front of Fifth Avenue and unalive somebody and people would still vote for him, I believe a good majority of his followers would. But Uncle Sam is not going to play about those tax crimes. And that's why Letitia James was sitting in the courtroom in New York smiling, because I really feel like that's the one thing that will bring you down quicker in this country than anything else. The US does not play about their coins, they want their bag. And for him to be charged with, let's see, 3 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of theft of governmental property. I hope he saved, invested some of that money and gets a good lawyer. And I mean a good lawyer, child. A good lawyer, Savannah. Cause he collected nearly $273,000 unlawfully. They're gonna want that back plus interest, plus lawyer fees. So I hope that, those two businesses that he operated, um, I hope he had a strong ROI. And I hope that they have a strong support system, family members that can take care of that baby. Man. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about British getting arrested for failing to show up to prison. Now they're going after her ex-boyfriend, Lorenzo Gordon, for PPP fraud. Drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.